Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome. This is Radio Works World Me Time. Woohoo! With Adrienne and the awesome Marina Nani. And it's Thursday, so it's got to be me time. It's thinking about, oh my God, it's coming up to the weekend. And it's also thinking about what happened during the week as well. And, you know, I've been thinking that sometimes what happens is situations occur in our lives and we react to them. And what we ought to be doing is controlling those circumstances so that the world is reacting to us, not us reacting to that. And I know that sounds difficult, but it all comes from a place of, if you like, from inside, from confidence, being aware of what you want and who you are, and saying, do you know what, all that stuff, this extraneous stuff, doesn't actually matter to me. It doesn't actually affect me, because I think we all go through life and we let too much affect us, you know, the weather, other people, and we get too engrossed in other people's dramas, and we shouldn't. Not only should we not get involved in other people's dramas, we shouldn't get involved in our own, because it's only a thought. And as the wonderful Louise Hay said, a thought can be changed. And so that's what I really want to talk to you about tonight, how we can change our circumstances by changing our thoughts. And it's very much a case of being, I mean, anybody who knows me well knows that I'm a very sort of action-taking person, that I've got energy, that I'm always doing and as well as being. And I made the conscious decision this week, because of various things that occurred in my life, that I was going to sit and go, if that's what you want to somebody, if that's what you want to do, then fine. It's not my business. I've said this before. It's not my business what somebody else thinks of me. It's also not my business if other people are going through dramas and their own stuff. I just want to be focused on what I want to do. And I want that for you too. I want you to be focused on what's right for you. When it feels good, do it. If it doesn't, don't. And that's really my message this week, to be true to yourself and really say, I'm not going to get wrapped up in, because that's what happened to me earlier this week. I got very wrapped up in somebody else's drama, and then it escalated into a group of people's drama. And I had a couple of people sort of, you know, say to me, oh, and get very upset with me. And afterwards I thought, why did I do that? Because I got caught in their stuff. Nothing to do with me. I got caught in their stuff. And so I got caught up in being angry, being cross, being something that I wasn't. And then I thought, does this matter to me? Thinking about the whole situation, I thought, does this matter to me? And I sat back and I thought, no, it doesn't actually. And I thought, so I was not being true to myself. I wasn't being authentic. I was, you know, going with not going with the flow. I was not being true to what was going on in my heart. I was getting caught up in all this extraneous stuff. So I made this decision. I sort of made it yesterday, but I told the people today very, very clearly that this is what I'm going to do. You know, and if you like it, that's great. And if you don't, you know what? You can do the other thing, because I really don't care. It's not my business anymore. I'll do as much as I can to help you, but if you want your own drama, it's your drama, it's not mine. And I think that's what happens a lot, especially if you're a mother, a wife, a boss, a work colleague. You get involved with other people's dramas. And so you're using emotions, and emotions take up a lot of energy. And you're using those emotions not for yourself, but for somebody else. Which, if you look at it like that, is absolutely crazy, isn't it? Why should you use your emotions, your energies on somebody else? on somebody else's drama, on somebody else's story.
You know, Adrienne, I I was listening to what you said, and I could see the ramification from that. So you said, why would you get in somebody else, involved in somebody else's drama or emotions? But
Yes,
this refers to the person sitting in front of you, as well as random people. So, for example, somebody is telling you something they think or they feel at the time, and instead of listening to them and making a decision on what they said, or on what you are going to say, how you are going to respond, you are just reacting. You
yes,
see, so I think this is when the crash comes, when you break the alignment you have in between your emotions, your values, your beliefs, and your actions. So for me, it's very, very important that you respect the person in front of you as much as you respect the person sitting inside you. So as much as I love the person sitting next to me, I have to stay true to myself. I
yes,
have to respect myself the same way of respecting them. So that means that each time somebody says something just because they're in a bad mood, or just because they're in their flow is negative, or is something that is upsetting them, that doesn't necessarily mean that I should take that over, embrace it, and run with it. I I mean, I learned that I have the divine duty to respect and love myself at least as much as I respect and love the person sitting next to me. And
absolutely.
this is the tricky part. Most people, and for most of my life, I couldn't. Most people won't see the difference. They will feel that it's job done when you respect and love the person sitting next to you. And all you have to do is to revolve your emotions, your actions, everything you are about around the person sitting next to you. Doesn't matter is a parent, doesn't matter is a colleague, doesn't matter is a friend or a total stranger. So just imagine that you are walking along and somebody is running and stops in front of you, bursting into tears and telling you horrible things. What are you going to do? You have to take the time to connect with yourself and think. Think for yourself. Don't allow that noise, don't allow that drama who is happening in front of you. Of course, you have to deal with it. The person is in front of you, but don't make it contagious. Don't allow that panic to take you over, because panicking and fear or not knowing how to react is deadly.
Absolutely. And isn't that exactly where me time comes in?
That's
Um,
exactly the technicality of your concept. That's exactly that.
yeah, because what you're doing, and I get what you're saying. If somebody comes up to you and it's somebody, it might be a loved one or a colleague or whatever, and they've got their own drama, they've got their own story, and then they tell you, and if you're not careful, you get so wrapped up in what's going on with them, you end up taking on their emotions, their energy, and so you're fighting the battle inside for them, which is not what you ought to be doing. What you ought to be doing, as you said, is centering yourself and saying and being objective if you can, and being a good friend, a good parent, whatever it is, but actually saying, not what's best for me, but how can I best help this person by not being emotional? Because as soon as you get emotional, as soon as you get into their story, as soon as you get into their stuff, you then lose the ability to be dispassionate and to be objective, and you can't help them at that point because you're too much into it. It's almost like it's happening to you. So you have to be dispassionate, you have to pull back and say, I think this is the best. I'm I'm very sympathetic. I'm upset for you, but I think what you need to do is blah, 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 or this is how the situation ought to go. And you can only do that if you've listened to yourself and you're being authentic about who you are. And it has to start with knowing who you are and being true to yourself. I was talking to a very, very good friend of mine in Florida last night, and we were talking, and I haven't spoken to her for about 3 years. And it was amazing to talk to her. And she's a very, very wise woman. And she was telling me how she's managed to, through her mind and through her teachings, she's managed to overcome cancer. She's cured herself of cancer. She's a phenomenal woman. And we were talking about how important loving yourself is, and how important it is to nurture yourself and love yourself and be good to yourself before you can give anything to anybody else. Because as I've said so many times before, unless you're looking after yourself, you can't possibly look after anybody else. So you can't deal with somebody's drama if you're taking that on as your own stuff. You can't deal with somebody's drama if you're concerned about, oh well, if he does that, how will that affect me? That's not what it's about.
And furthermore, Adrienne, I think this applies to your own drama, because drama is just a narrative, is what you imagine could go wrong.
Yes.
So when you are under attack, when you are under siege from other people or yourself with the wrong narrative, just step back and say, this is my castle, this is my life, this is what I build. And it's so hard to build a mind, a clear mind, a focused mind. Why would you allow anyone to get in? Because you just nail it. You said, and we discuss about this many times with our clients, and it's a fact of life. Nobody can change their circumstances. However, human beings are the only species in this as far as we know, in the universe, that they could use the power of the words. They choose. They have the ability. We have the ability to use the power of our words.
Exactly.
So even if you are the person creating all the drama because of your old narrative, because limiting beliefs, because social conditioning, because bad mood, or because of the weather, that's not to say that you are allowed to do that yourself. You cannot ruin the serenity you have in your heart. In your mind, I think there is a barrier, and that barrier is almost like a border between your old self and your new self. And each time you try to change something that doesn't work for you, like circumstances, it's hard, because your mind is not going to allow in what you don't know in order to protect you, to protect the borders of what you already have. But if most of the time you are using bad thoughts and you are having a low narrative, and you are conditioned already, that doesn't mean you can't change that. So you really have to make a better choice of words. You really have to be kinder to yourself. You really have to embrace the concept of me time as your number one weapon for protecting your serenity. Because to me, serenity is very close to sanity. I was telling you, I know I'm so excited about your event, Adrienne, because I know it's happening soon, and you take your clients to a beautiful spa, and it's a serene place. And I was mentioning to you another spa where I'm going, and I've been there for decades. And if it wasn't for that place where I can go, they take your phone away, you can't use it. I would not keep my sanity. I would be in a mental hospital or somewhere. They would have locked me down long time ago. But because I I discovered that place, and I'm so grateful to my friends who first took me there decades ago. I realized that this is my time. I have the right to this. So they took my phone. I entered this new space. It's like an ideal planet. It's like everything is so serene, and I hope we'll go there together very soon. So I realized that the same way in my own mind, I could enter that place. And at the time, I was taking around 150 calls a day, and each time I will try to listen to a message, I was getting another call. So it was absolutely crazy, and I don't know how I survived through, and I really don't understand what we are really made of, because it seems that is no limit to how much you can carry somehow. But perhaps it was not knowing that I have the options. But since I discovered that place, I realized that I do have the option. And it is my choice if I go to that spa, which was in effect allowing my mind to relax, to quiet, to focus, to put things in order, to prioritize, to decide what's next move, and so on, being all by myself, because it was me time. It was my time, and it is an inside job, because what you say, Adrienne, really, really, really works.
Absolutely. And it's not just, I mean, there are going to be people listening to us now, and they're going to say, well, I can't get to a spa, I can't do this, I can't do that. But what you can do is you can start listening to yourself. You can take yourself to a room, just a room in your house, a room in your flat, a room where in your office, go into I've said this before, walk into a cubicle in the toilet, get some me time, just get some time on your own, and just listen to your thoughts, and just calm down and just breathe. I was talking to this friend last night, and as I say, she's an incredibly wise woman, but she, we all have stuff sometimes, and she was telling me something, and I said, you need to breathe, just breathe, and you'll be, and she went, you know what, you're absolutely right. And that's the thing, by sharing what we've got, by sharing, I spoke to somebody else earlier in the week who said to me, write down, and I'm always saying this to our listeners and to people, write down what's going on, write down what you want to happen in your life, make it so clear and so vivid, and read it every single day, read it every single night, and read it and believe in it. Believe that it's going to happen. Don't make it happen. Don't force it to happen. Don't force the universe to work for you. Ask the universe gently, and just let it flow, let it happen, and know in your heart with this incredible certainty that it will happen. And you know what? It will happen, because that's how things work. That's how the law of attraction works. Not by forcing things to happen and then we get obstacles and things aren't working out the way we want them to. It's by putting it out there and reading it and being so convinced that this is what you want, and knowing who you are. So whether it's your drama, your story, you have to say, you know what? I'm going to stop this because I don't like this. And again, it's your choice. You can go on having, negative thoughts in toxic relationships, toxic work, whatever is going on in your life. You've got the choice. You can keep at it. I'm not forcing you to do anything. I'm just saying it's so much better when you give up that toxicity, when you actually learn to love yourself, when you actually, and it isn't, I mean, Marina's already said it, it's not easy. And you have to practice and practice. And one of the things both of us have found, and I'm sure lots of other people have found that we talk to, is that you need help. It's very, very difficult. You make the choice and then you go, help. What do I do now? It's like when a child first learns to cross the road. Okay, yeah, I know it's look left, look right, look left again. But I've never actually put my foot out on the roadside. How do I do this?
So I think it's exactly why you created the Mastery Day. When you learn to master the power of me time. Because
Yes,
you know
exactly.
that song by the Happy, the song that everybody plays, and they're saying living you are in a room with our roof. So I think this is exactly what it is. No matter where you are, you get to create a room with our roof, and that's freedom. That's limitless. That makes you so powerful because you are. And when you realize that the tools that makes you so powerful, everything that you can change just by changing the words you allow to come into your mind, it's just incredible. But you have to master it. And
Yeah,
this is what you do, Adrienne. You created the um, the exact medicine for stress, and it's not toxic, got no chemicals. And the truth is that once you master it, there is no looking back. It's
no,
incredible.
absolutely, absolutely,
and
and it's so
and it's
exciting.
not only exciting, but I think it's bringing you into a new dimension. It's bringing you to a place from where you distance yourself from everything, that all the noise that is around you, and put you in, you know, in a on a top where you have perspective, and then you can pick and choose. You can measure and evaluate what to do next,
It
what's
makes you
best for
realise
you,
how
because if it's best for you, it's going to benefit other people. Nobody's going to benefit even if they want you dead.
absolutely.
Nobody's going to benefit.
It makes you realize how much potential there is inside you. And that's exciting. Once you unlock that key, once you unlock that and you can really feel it, you get this sense of amazement and excitement, and you go, "Oh my God, why didn't I do this years ago?" But
And
it's never too late.
you
It's
see,
never
Adrian, I
too
can
late.
give you a very good example, a perfect example, actually. So for years, I was pressurized to take certain decision, and I did not. I ignored the noise because it wasn't something I wanted to do. And I
Mhm.
decided at the time that I'm only going to act upon my own gut. I'm going to respect that. I'm going to respect the person sitting inside me. And I'm going to do exactly what I feel is right.
Okay.
So years of pressure from, you name it, from every single corner. And just yesterday was so strange that everybody came to me and said, "You are right, let's do this. You are right." And it was like every single person that opposed me and every single person that was part of this project, and they all wanted the opposite that I wanted. And I was, unshakable for years. Now, everybody, and I'm talking about people who are important to me, not
Mhm.
only from a business point of view, but from an emotional point of view, because I created a life-lasting relationship with them. So obviously, I didn't want to upset anyone. I'm not here to upset anyone, but I had to listen to the person sitting inside me. And
Mhm.
now everybody, the next door person, is benefiting. And it's a great victory. I feel that is always, whatever happens to you is happening for you, and it's for a great reason.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So in the meantime, till
In the
next
meantime,
time,
in the
please
meantime,
go to adriennemarksmetime.com and
yeah,
book your ticket. Go to the Mastery Day. It is priceless. I was about to say it's worth it, but I have to say that's an understatement. It is priceless. www.adriennemarksmetime.com. Go for the retreat. It is in London. It is in July. It is on a magic day, 22nd of July, Friday, when everybody,
do it fast.
everybody we know is going to celebrate the International Me Time Day, like Adrienne said, around the clock, around the globe. From both of us, until next time, have some me time.
In the meantime, sending you lots of love and have a good week. Bye bye.
Goodbye.